Get my screen set. Got my birthday crown on. Aw, look at you. Okay, so like, this is my birthday celebration. So I want to see as many faces as possible. Put your pretty face on here. Look at this baby. Ever wondering what to do with your wine corks? Make a crown out of it. Welcome. Let's see, we got to fill it up. Any more screens? Okay, eat your lunch, Lisa. Looking good as we click on in. I missed you guys. Yay. Okay, we got 2 screens. I can see. Got 2 screens on my end. All right, how are we doing? How are we doing, my friends? Give me something good. Somebody share some really good news. Just one quick thing. Who's got something good? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me.
I got an accepted offer. That's good news these days.
Well, and with a buyer?
Yes.
Okay, well then that you got to qualify, because if it's with a buyer, that's like really good news.
Yeah, I do have an awesome listing coming, which I'll tell everyone later. But yeah, I mean, I was just so happy for these buyers that their offer got accepted.
Yay!
Is that the Greendale buyers?
What's that?
Is that the Greendale buyers or different buyers?
No, Franklin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got to see Jill last night. I went to drop off Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's good to see you all. And so what's really funny is on Tuesday, whenever we have our executive leadership team huddle, we call it our huddle. And obviously on Tuesdays, we talk about our team meeting. We had one slide and we've got now a zillion. So as always, we thought we were going to give you a gift of time, but I don't know if we're going to have extra time. So we're going to get right down to it. So thank you for being here for my birthday celebration, which is tomorrow. And oh, by the way, as many of you know, I also celebrate in April, because if your birthday is on the last day of the month, you can't fit in all your family and friends. So like I've got things I've got things planned in April. So, and I encourage you all, when it's your birthday, to wear a crown. Bring it. Charisse, you had my crown on. It looked pretty good on you. Yeah. Nothing like a birthday crown. Okay, so while Allison is pulling up our agenda, I want to share something real quick, which is not on the agenda. Thank you very much for the birthday wish. So I took some time and I wrote out my birthday reflections. And maybe this is what happens when you become older, as I'm going to be 48 years old. Oh my gosh. And in 2 years, when I turn 50, by the way, I'm having a huge party. So, and it cannot be a surprise. I've already told my husband that, because, you know, I got to make sure my hair is looking good, right? I got to work my coloring around my 50th birthday. So 48 people. So I wrote down some birthday reflections, and some of you have heard me say this before. I wish I was Oprah, because on my birthday, so what I would do as Oprah is I would actually give you guys all my favorite things on my birthday. So I wrote down my favorite things for my birthday reflections from this year, moving backwards from last year, okay? So if I could, these are the things I would give you guys. So my 3 favorite books that I've read since my last birthday are 1, 1,000 Little Things. 1,000 Little Things. Get this. If you don't have this, you need to get this. 1,000 Little Things. My second favorite book, which I think I've lent it out to somebody because I cannot find it. Oh no, I have it right here. 12-week year. In fact, we're coming up on the end for those of us that started the 12-week year at the beginning of the year. We're at the end of our year. And then my third book is called Attitude of Gratitude. Attitude of Gratitude. It's so awesome, because you can just read a simple little section each day, because there's nothing like giving gratitude, and it fills your day with joy. So I would give you all those books if I was Oprah. The other thing that I would give you Are you writing this down? Are you guys listening? The other thing I would give you, are you ready? Look under your chairs because today you're going to get a Peloton. Everybody's getting a Peloton. That's what I got this last year too. And let me tell you my favorite thing about the Peloton. So I got it in October is they have Sundays with Love. It's like you're going to church, but not going to church because you're on a bike. Like my favorite church would be, they have Pelotons. Okay. And so every Sunday, though I don't do it till Monday, and Jill, just so that you know, because you're in my little accountability group, Jill account for our exercise group, I don't make up my Monday virtues. I actually get them from Sundays with Love. So we live life forward and understand backwards. I love that. And so today's virtue was on Monday when I listened to it, it was about forgiveness. So listen up here, people. This is about forgiving yourself as well as others. Forgiveness, true forgiveness is unequal and unfair. It's hard. Forgiveness is very, very hard. The biggest pain is loss in yourself if you don't forgive. It's not, what does it say? Oh, it's not an eye for an eye. A lot of times when we want to forgive somebody, we want to, you did this pain to me, so I'm going to do this pain to you. Having the courage to let go of your pride and ego, you will be unmatched when you truly forgive. So whether it's forgiving yourself or somebody else. Okay, so I give you all a Peloton. All right, here's the other thing. 2 more things, and then we're going to get on the agenda. You would all get the cookbook, Sweet Laurel. Sweet Laurel is a grain-free cookbook, baking. It's all for baking. So for those of you that have been in the office and enjoyed some of my treats, I never thought I'd be so in love with coconut oil and almond flour in my entire life, but I'm in love with it. And here's something new that I learned. I know you're going to think this is gross, and this is probably because I'm 48 years old. These look like cockroaches. Wait, where's my camera? They're dates. There is nothing like a date. I never thought in a million years that I would like dates. So anyway, and then another thing I'd buy you all is this Zoom light. Do you see this? You'd get one of these. And I'm not done because my birthday is tomorrow and I started my reflection list of joy from the past year just today. So that's what you're all getting when I get to Oprah status. So thank you for celebrating my birthday with me, which is actually tomorrow, but we can start celebrating today. All right. Are we excited? Give me a yoo-ha. I want to hear your voices. Because imagine if you were woo-ha.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo-hoo!
Okay. All right. Whew, I'm sweating. Okay, here's the other thing I would give you guys. This is what happens to the ladies when they turn 48. They have to wear layers. But that's a whole nother Zoom. We'll talk about that some other time. So the tan that I got from Florida, because that's where I was last week. So I love you guys. I just love you so much. I cannot wait till I can give you all a Peloton. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to have a Peloton mastermind.
Talk to you later.
It would be amazing. All right, that's what I have for you. Okay, we're going to move on to the agenda now. All right, so we're going to have Mark Smith share something. I've got a message to share from GMAR because I'm sure you guys didn't all listen to it. We're going to give you lots of save the dates because anytime that we move towards the beginning of a month, which we're moving into April, we've got save the dates. And we're going to end with our coming soons, and Scott's going to do a little check-in on our 5 a day, and holy man, let's get going. So we're going to start with Mark Smith. So Mark, I would like you to share, and then we can pull up your little Google Doc or your thing that you sent me, some of your ahas and things that you put into place that you learned from our UGA marketing, our social media workshop.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So Sheila and I are a little older than some of the other people in our business, so we're not versed in the whole social media thing and website trafficking and all that other stuff. So it was really nice to be able to have the opportunity to go to UGA marketing class. It was 3 days, 2 hours each day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I really liked it. There's a lot of buildup on Monday and Wednesday, which I understand they had to have some background, but Friday was like the big payoff. Like if you went Monday and Wednesday and Friday was like, okay, here's all the nuggets. So the thing that I guess my biggest aha was, for the same amount of work that you can do in Facebook to post a picture, if you just post a video and type a few other things, your reach to everybody and your engagement from everybody else is way higher. So even from that perspective, if you don't like wasting time and wasting effort, you can obviously get a ton more out of that. So we spent a lot of time on Monday and Wednesday kind of talking about why we do things or what we do. And then the trainer that was on our call gave us a ton of really good ideas of how to post, what to post. And then with a few extra keystrokes here or there, I mean, we got a huge return on what we did. So on our, I don't know if you can show the document, but
Yeah, Alice, I
oh, I need
think.
to give you access. Oh, I think I gave access to Kim, but
Oh, I
anyway,
wonder, Allison, did Mia end up putting it in the next slide or no? She might not have.
that's okay. You know what, maybe I can show you. I don't know if you can see it. Well, maybe not. So let's just say on average, when Sheila and I would do a post on Facebook, we were getting like 25 to 30 reaches and only like 0 to 1 engagement. And that's because we posted mostly all photos and with captions and branding and all that other stuff, but it really wasn't doing much. And then
Can you
after
see that?
UGA,
I just
oh,
brought
there
it
it
up.
is. There it is. Thank you. Yeah. So if you can see pre-UGA training, we were doing 25 to 30 people and maybe 1 engagement if we were lucky. It was just awful. And then post-UGA training, our videos, and they were little videos, like 15, 30-second videos. And they weren't anything spectacular. There's one of me raking a yard of our listing to get it ready for video or for showings and for photos. 400 people reached and 30 engagements. There's one right now we had a listing where we had the owner, the seller put an accepted offer rider on her sign that has 368 reached and 101 engagements, and they're all videos. So you can see like down the list, there's 5 different ones that we have. So basically you're getting 10 times the reach. They said during the course, you get like 6 times the reach, but it's more like 10 or more reach by doing that. And then probably engagement between 25 and 100 times the engagement. So everybody wants to listen to the video, right? I mean, everything's going to TikTok and small little impact. So I've noticed that. And the other thing I noticed is that Facebook just offered us $20 in ad credit to place an ad. So I think that's pretty cool. That's never happened to us before. So that's kind of cool. As far as the takeaways, real quick, top tips. If you have a choice between doing a video and doing a picture or a post that just has a static picture, do a video. It's not worth it. Facebook does not like pictures. They like videos. And then when you get ready to do your post, click get messages first before adding the video. That'll put that little gray button where it says send message, so that when people get there, they can actually click on that if they want to talk to you or have any questions. Use a good caption. Go and find free content. So let's say for our video that's at Team Smith Wisconsin on Facebook, I actually went out and just found some free content, like a top 10 list of things that sellers can do. All you do is click that link, just copy that link and paste it right into your post. And that's basically you giving people content, right? Free content and free knowledge that they don't have to pay for. So it engages them that way. And then what you have to do is, after you're done doing that, add for a call to action, right? You want those people to click or do something, right? Check with us and we'll provide a list of this, and this for you. And then include 2 or 3 hashtags. He said, don't go crazy on hashtags, but we normally include like our team name, Selling Your Home, Keller Williams. And then he said paste on your business page, then go up and click there's a little part on your business page that you can click and change how you're reacting or acting within the video or within the Facebook, and change that to personal, and then share it with your personal page. And then just get comfortable doing videos. I'm telling you, the videos that we put up were very spur of the moment, just taking a quick video, 15 to 30 seconds and doing it. We're going to get better at doing it, but I mean, if we're going to get 10 times the engagement, I think it's worth it.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty amazing. Talk about like go to a class and actually do what they tell you to do. Like you didn't mess around here. Are there any questions? Pipe in if you have a question.
Mark, is this all, sorry, you just said type in and I'm talking.
That's okay.
Is this all on your business page or personal page?
All of them are on the business page, but we shared most of them between Sheila's personal page, and we take turns going between her personal page and mine, because we don't want to inundate our friends with the same message twice.
Mhm.
So we're trying to do it in both personal and business. I don't know if that answered the question. Sorry.
Yeah, I did. Mhm.
Okay.
Do you mind if we share that in the team meeting recap, all your little tips?
For sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'll make sure I
Absolutely.
get you a copy of that, Allison, to put in the recap, because that's really good. I mean, that's good statistical, improvement on what you were doing in the past.
Yeah. Like I said, the same amount of work and to get better results. I think everybody wants to do that. So hopefully it starts paying off and getting some conversions and some leads and all that kind of stuff, but baby steps, right? 1%
Well,
better.
and here's the thing, it's a drip, as we call it. So sometimes we don't directly get a lead like on Facebook, but all of a sudden we have a client that calls us or somebody in our database and they're like, oh, I've been seeing you everywhere. Or, oh, I've seen their video. It's the drip. So that's pretty cool. Bill had a question in the chat. What did you say? Did the speaker talk about custom audiences on Facebook?
So he did. He said that Facebook is actually like pulled back on what they're allowing people to target, because they're just trying to keep things fair and balanced. I don't know. I don't know what way to put it, but you can't target like all the things that you think you'd want to target. I think another place you could do that is probably Google. I think Google's has a little bit better advantage for targeting, but not so much for a custom audience. But you can pick, like if you place an ad. So these are just posts that we did. We didn't do any ads. We just did those as posts. But if you do an ad, before you post it, you have to go and put that it's for real estate or for that business, otherwise it'll get flagged. I've done like 3 or 4 ads where it got kicked back to me right away, and they said, make sure you click this little box. Not a big deal, but yeah, he said that you really can't target as much as you'd really like to.
Mark, one of the things that I've been really toying with, getting serious about here going forward, is the ability to put a CSV file together that has the first name, last name, email address, and phone number for everyone in my database, and uploading a custom audience to the Facebook ad manager. Because the thing I want to do is I want to market to all my clients on Facebook that I'm not friends with on Facebook.
Oh.
And the custom audience is something that I feel is like next level, because I'm trying to buy brain cells, not just from people who liked my page, but from people that I serve that I'm not directly friends with on social media. So that's why I asked that question. I really think that's the next level here, that I'm hearing a lot of discussion around using command to create ads. I want to get more intentional about my targeting.
Sure.
And so that's something that I'm thinking seriously about. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. So, all righty. We will move to our agenda. And I love it. I love it, Mark. Compliments to you, because a lot of times we take classes and we just put the book on the shelf, as we say. So, all right, we're going to do some quick review of training as we move into a new month. Holy man, does anybody know what the date is today? Yell it. Tell me what the actual date is today.
June?
June 29th.
All right. Gosh.
Can you believe it? And for those of you that are new or visiting us, we say that because everything we do in real estate shows up 90 days later. It's June, people. Get out your shorts and show your white legs. A message from GMAR. We're going to remind you about rewards, and then Red Day. Talk a little bit about that. All right, so let's talk about a whole bunch of stuff here. So this is a draft. Woof, it's a lot, right? So this will be coming out, but just remember, technically our month doesn't start till Monday, because you have the rest of this week on our March training calendar. So just a couple of things I want to point out, because we're getting jam-packed here. So we have color-coded things over on the left. Blue is your masterminds. Green is productivity group coaching related. Purple is productivity coaching trainings. They're open to anybody, but we're just signifying that on there. Our daily mojos, which are Monday through Friday, hard to squeak it in on the calendar, so it's over on the left, as you can see. And then, as always, when you get your training, obviously you're going to get the whole month with all of the links to the Zooms, or if they're live, because some of them are live now. And then we also have Prestige, which is on our calendar. On Thursday, you can see there's some training that they're doing in the Prestige office in Menominee Falls. And so those are some of the things just for right now. And then we're going to have a couple of save the date slides. So, oh, wait, you know what? Wait, before we move on, can we go back once? Okay, so there's something new on the calendar. You can see that on Tuesdays from 11 to 12 called our Homegrown Capper Training. So some of you may have been specifically reached out to by Michelle and Tina. So Michelle and Tina are leading a program in partnership with HELP. ALC is going to be doing some things and so on. For those that have graduated the productivity coaching program, so they've closed at least 5, most of who they've reached out to maybe do 1.5 to like 3 million in volume in production. And they personally reached out to them to find out if they want to be a capper. And if they do, they're specifically inviting them to this program. There is going to be commitments. The reason I want to explain it is if this is something you're interested in and maybe you haven't been reached out to, please feel free to contact Michelle and Tina to find out what this is about. But that is our goal here, is to work with a specific group who wants really, really honed in on training to get to that capping level. So that's something new here on the schedule that we haven't had before. So it's pretty exciting. Okay, so what do we got up next? We got, I think, a reminder for, oh, we get to watch this. Okay. People. We're going to play this video. You would have received it in email, but if you're like me, you don't read all your emails or you catch up with them on later on the week. And then I want to talk about it and I want to get your feelings and your thoughts. So I am going to be looking for participation. So hang tight, listen up. Don't be cleaning out your email. Don't be on your phone. I need you to listen. It's 6 minutes, okay? Ish, something like that. So Allison's going to go ahead and play it.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Mike Ruzicka. I'm the president of the Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors, and I'm joined today with Beth Scott Bush, who's the VP of Operations. I think most of you know him through professional standards. But we wanted to do this special video to everyone, all the members today, because we've gotten a ton of calls from sellers who are complaining about agents not following directions. And when we, at the association, when we get calls from clients and sellers, it's a big deal. Usually consumers don't contact us. Usually it's all agents. Of course, we always get comments from agents, but since we've gotten so many calls from actual sellers this year, this week, I wanted to have Scott on to explain what's going on. So Scott?
Yeah, you're right, Mike. You know, seldom a day goes by, especially the past month, where we're not receiving phone calls on a daily basis, either by sellers, by listing brokers, or both, relative to the same issues and many problems that we have at showings and scheduled showings. And I know it's a tough market out there. I know there's limited inventory, which presents challenges, but some of the things that we're seeing are directives that are not being followed, specifically related to COVID. And you know, there are sellers who have told me that they've had people living in the home or they have compromised immune systems, and their instructions are very specific that anybody who enters the property, or they have a limited amount of people allowed to enter the property, they do that for their protection, and they require masks, and they require anyone in the property to wear masks. And it's not just occasionally or a once in a while thing. It scares me because it's sort of almost overt and notorious, the activities that we're seeing out there, a total disregard for the seller's directions. And what worries me the most is that this becomes a news story, that the media gets a hold of this, and it certainly makes the industry look bad. So what we're seeing are realtors who are showing up for their showings, and buyers too are affected by this as well, because some buyers are concerned about COVID. They have their masks. they expect a private showing, and they have other people who are coming onto the property that are not masked, or they're trying to crash in on their showing scheduled time, and they're not wearing masks. Agents are reporting other agents coming onto the property with their buyers who are not masked. And, you know, I know that there's different beliefs, there's different philosophies about COVID and whether masks work and they don't work. And those are, you know, we can have those conversations. But when the seller says, you wear a mask in their home, you wear a mask in their home. It's that simple. And there's no need for us to open up ourselves to this kind of liability and this kind of negative press. The other thing I remind our agents is, you know, when you're in someone's property, just assume you're being recorded, because many times you are. And Ring doorbell and other security cameras have picked up conversations and videos of agents saying things like, buyers saying, well, I don't really want to wear a mask. And the agent's like, well, no one's here and it's okay. You know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Very cavalier, very casual. And, you know, again, I don't know what else to say other than you have to adhere to the seller's specific instructions. And some of the other problems that we're seeing too, I don't know why this is on the rise so much. Maybe it's because there's so much information that buyers want to obtain with their agents when they're in a property in such a short amount of time. But I'm getting a lot of complaints from sellers saying that their wallpaper was ripped off. You know, someone wants to see how easy is wallpaper going to come off, and you know, other things like you know, removing ceiling tiles and also you know, turning on air conditioning units to see if they work, and then leaving them on in the cold weather. You know, so we're seeing. I got a call the other day. Someone had pulled back some paneling in a basement that broke. You know, so these behaviors they really can't no longer be tolerated. And my concern here is that the media shows up at the GMAR and asks why there's so much misbehavior going on with these showings in our marketplace. And I'm especially concerned about agents that are not following the seller's directives. The other thing I'm concerned about with respect to the showings or the tight scheduled showings, and I get it because there's a lot of people that want to see the home. Concurrent with that, you have concerns about COVID and you know, people wanting to distance from one another and so forth. So it's creating a very difficult dynamic in our marketplace. But don't send, if you're an agent, don't send buyers to properties that are, I mean, if you are told that, sorry, this day is already booked up, don't send your buyers there or show up with your buyers thinking, oh, we're just going to sneak in. We're just going to go in, because if a showing agent is there, that puts them in a very tough position. It upsets their buyers who are expecting a private showing. And not only that, but again, that is also against the listing broker and the seller's directives. I really think we can do better. You know, these sort of behaviors are you know, a sign of the times, but really, you know, this is a totally avoidable problem, and it concerns me when we're getting that amount of feedback from the public and from our agents on these bad behaviors.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. We wanted to make this quick
Thanks,
today.
Allison.
Word out to everyone. So the bottom line is pay attention.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess none of that came across as shocking. I know that potentially the volume wasn't there, so just know that in the team meeting recap, Allison will be sure to put this link in there because this was also put on YouTube, and you would have received this email from GMAR. I think it came last week, Friday. So a couple of things, and then I want to open up for any feedback. Getting calls, the GMAR is getting calls daily from sellers masks. I know we're feeling free and a lot of us are getting COVID shots now. And like, let's be honest here, we're over it. I'm over it, right? This has been a year, but we have to make sure we're respecting whatever the showing instructions say. News story. I can't even believe, and Nicole Lasaki and I were talking about this today. I can't even believe there hasn't been media yet. It takes one call to TMJ4 or whoever, Fox News, to like show up at one of these showings and show the disregard for the home and the wallpaper and the flooring and the ceiling fans. So I guess I want to open it up a little bit. We are in a shift. We know this. And when we are in a market where something new is happening, which we are now, which has never happened in my entire 23 plus years in this business. We've never experienced this. And so right now I want to talk about what it means to be a responsible, we're here to raise the bar at Keller Williams, a responsible listing agent. Okay, so I don't believe these things that are happening, you guys are doing. I know you guys work at a really high level. But what can you do as a listing agent when you know you're going to have 100 people through a home in less than 24 hours? So it's almost like as listing agents now, you now need to be sitting at that home with a clipboard. So go ahead, Allison Marr.
I know that as a listing agent, we want to get as many people in the door as possible, but I just would not allow for overlapping showings, especially because then you don't have any control over how many showings are actually scheduled at the same time. Like yesterday, I went on a showing in Waukesha, and it was literally like the door was just wide open for anybody to walk in. You don't even know at that point, anybody without a realtor could walk in the door. So there's like no way of really keeping track of, I don't know, sellers' possessions, and it's just it's super unorganized. So I would say just don't allow for overlapping showings, especially if the home is occupied.
And I want to back up what Allison said right now, because I agree with you, Allison. I actually went on a showing and I looked at my buyer and said, I bet you there's some people in here without a realtor. And there was. The door, the keys in the door, people are in and out of the house. I swear there was probably 20 people in this house. It was ridiculous. And there was many outside. And one person stopped and said, are you the realtor? And I said, I'm the realtor for these buyers. And she said, I said, do you have a realtor? And she said, no. Are you the listing agent? I said, the listing agent's not here. And I go, do you have a realtor? And they said, no. They walked right in. And then another couple came in because the door is wide open. The key is there. Like you said, there's no respect for the house, personal property of it. And the buyer actually turned to me and said, if I knew it was going to be this bad in this house, I probably would have skipped it. So I do agree with you. It's getting a little out of control. We dealt with overlapping before. And I remember looking at the realtor going, okay, I'm leaving. Here's the key. Like I would have the key in my hand and pass it over or something. But now it's doors wide open and everyone's a free for all walking in the house and they can get away with it because they kind of hide in.
So this is your value proposition as a Keller Williams, raising the bar of the industry agent. You as a listing agent need to be there. If you have a day where you have more than 10 showings that are scheduled, guess what? Who is going to be monitoring that? And so I challenge you guys to do either kind of like what Steph Sosa did, where she did she was supposed to do a delayed listing, right? She didn't know and she held off the showings, but a delayed listing, and you actually have an open house. Like if you know you're going to have that, go hold it open. And here's the thing, guys, leverage each other. Go and have a team. Like right now, if you are an agent and you're in the PC program or you're willing to help out somebody with the opportunity to pick up a buyer, would you go put it in the chat if you would go and help that listing agent hold a home open? Or be there for the showings? Because you are correct, Diana, and it's the nature of the industry right now that it appears that the home is open when there are cars parked down the street. So I'm a passer buyer. I've been thinking about getting in the market, and I look down the street, I see a for sale sign, and I see a bunch of cars, and I'm like, oh, it must be an open house, right? So just think about it. We need to shift. We need to, what's my pivot and shift word? We need to shiv it. We need to shiv it to match today's market. And I see Zach here next. And I want to just, I'm talking to you as listing agents and some of the things you need to change on what you're doing. And then you need to be there, because after more than 10 people have gone through the home, your seller's going to be calling you and they're going to be dissing the industry. They're going to say, all realtors suck. I have ceiling tiles missing. I have wallpaper. I have carpeting. Go ahead, Zach. What do you have to add?
Well, for the last couple of years, our strategy has always been to list a little below market value to create the auction effect, get as many people in as possible. And that was a good idea when we wanted to get as many people as possible. Now, I think it's really the opposite. So our listing we put up last week, we were thinking about a price much lower, like $10,000, $15,000 than the price we ended up listing it at. We ended up raising the price, thinking to myself, we're probably going to get the offer closer to this price anyway. Why don't we just raise the price? So I think we only had like 10 showings, only 3 offers. Is that academically that different from 40 showings, 10 offers, or 170 showings and 20 offers? Not really. The seller only needs to accept 1. So I'd say like part of the strategy now is to be like, try to raise the price, get the price a little bit closer to what you think it's actually go for. This will also help with people not going crazy $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over asking price. If that's what they're going to end up rating at, just list it at that price. You can, if after the first weekend it doesn't pan out, you can always do a price reduction and try to get more people through. If you have no showings, you can do a price reduction right away. But I think to gate that a little bit, we have to be doing our due diligence as far as pricing it accurately.
Yeah. So just new strategies, guys. So just I want to bring this to awareness and for the professionalism of our industry. Because Scott Bush has a right point to make. Like he said it twice. He's fearful of the media in a news story who portrays us as unprofessional and making too much money, right? And so just imagine a camera going through a home that basically looks like disarray. And so we don't want that. So I just want to encourage you to think a little bit differently and pay attention to your showings that are set up on your listings. There are more than enough agents who can help you here. And there are agents who also want an opportunity to pick up a buyer. So you never know. Go ahead, Scott.
One thing that's hard to comprehend, especially when you're a newer agent or you've been in here for a while and you're doing this, is like our product that we sell is somebody's house. Like they live there, they raise their kids there. Like there is so much emotional attachment to the home. There's so much to it. And so we can go in there as buyer agents or like like talk badly about it or do this or do that. And we're not even thinking like, this is someone's home. This isn't a product. This isn't a computer. So we have to be mindful of that and mindful of, man, could you imagine 100 people going through your home and there's dirt marks everywhere and things are off and like kilter and imagine now one agent is going to get this story. This will be on the news. And imagine if it's you, like, imagine if you're the agent that the news, it just so happens the news picks and you're on there like so-and-so realtor did this or did that. And it's like, okay. So it's really like that recording piece, everything you say, everything you do. This is a really great awareness, Kim. I'm glad you brought this up.
Well, go ahead.
Another
Real
thing
quick, I mean, what's more likely than a specific agent is them just mentioning KW too. I mean, it's
that's everybody.
That's probably like a 1 in 10 chance. I mean, less now that we're talking about it, but just from the company wide that are actively showing, it's possible.
Yeah. Go ahead, Diana.
Oh, the other thing I was just going to add is, because we have a lot of buyers right now. So we've been showing a lot of houses and the booties, like if you're a listing agent, I would recommend, everyone's probably seen the box of booties and they're all worn and they're sitting and they look like trash on the side of the house. If I would recommend to maybe, I know this is a lot of work for the listing agent, either give the seller extra booties and say, okay, throw those out and here's new booties, because it looks, I mean, who wants to put their hands through dirty booties? So I actually carry some along with me for my buyers, that here's fresh booties, you put them on, do not grab in that bin of a box that's there. I'm sure you all experienced it. I'm sure you don't want to go through it and it doesn't look great. I'm sure the seller doesn't want to really see all that. I mean, really, we have to be mindful of the seller. It doesn't look pretty and they're coming home with a bunch of old booties all sitting in that box and it doesn't look good. And I'm sure they don't even want to touch them either. So I don't know. We just have to be really respectful of the sellers. I really do feel sorry for what they have to endure with all those people coming through at such a short period of time.
So good. Hashtag no dirty booties. I don't know why. That's so funny though.
Kim, so I think anything we can do as a listing agent to protect the security of the seller's house is certainly important. A couple of things that I'm noticing and that happened, and I did open up for the first time to overlapping showings a couple of weekends ago, and I think learned from it that, it didn't go bad, but I'm not sure that I would do it again. One other thing that happened, because the sellers left for the weekend, so we started showings at 4:00 in the afternoon on Friday, went to 4:00 on Sunday. Well, somebody showed up because it was go and show. Somebody showed up at like 9:00 in the morning on Friday, like an agent thinking, it's a go and show. I'm just gonna go, no appointment. And my seller was there. So, I don't know as an agent, what would make someone think that they can do that, but that happened. And the other thing about people, I think this thing about looking behind like a paneling in a basement or something, people are figuring out and realizing they might have to write without a home inspection, and they're trying to do their own home inspection while they're at the showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of been contemplating talking to my sellers about doing a home inspection prior to going on the market.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't really know that that's the answer either. I do know that there's been a couple of sales where we had an offer, it fell through, there was a home inspection, and as soon as that was available, when we went back out on the market, every single, and we got multiple offers the second time, they all waived the home inspection with that other inspection available. And there was more peace of mind, right? So I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I've thought about it.
Well, okay. So how much is a home inspection nowadays?
Yeah, like 350.
Okay, so like how amazing would it be if you listed a home and you put in private remarks, seller will pay for home inspection? Okay, I don't know if this is right or wrong. I'm just saying we need to think differently, right? And so if we know we're going to have 100 buyers through who, are emotional. So why people are acting this way is because they're emotional. They lost out on 10 homes. They have an accepted offer on their home that says they have to be out of their home in 60 days. A home where they live and they have their family. Like, I'm almost getting teary-eyed about it, like the type of market we're in. I'm so passionate about this. Like, maybe we need to alter our thinking and actually tell the buyer we want them to write the offer with the inspection. Then they don't have to feel like they have to tear the home apart. I don't know, but this is kind of crazy. We need to think out of the box. Go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say that the pre-listing inspections that we're doing right now, we're actually, our last 2 homes that we listed, we paid for the pre-listing inspection, and it's basically half the price. It's not a full, we use HSH, and they don't charge the same amount. And you're right, it gives the sellers and the buyers kind of like a calming effect, right? Like, okay, somebody's looked this over, like all the major mechanical stuff has been looked over. Yeah, maybe it's not as specific as a full home inspection, but it covers all the major stuff. And I think it's helped because you're right. Then people are writing without a home inspection on the contingency. You get faster to the close and less, BS. I think it's a good idea. I don't know. I think we're going to do that going forward.
Things to consider. I like this conversation, and I like that we're addressing this as a group and creatively coming up with ideas. We are not the #1 real estate company for no reason. And if we're going to be #1, we're going to act like we're #1, and we're going to raise the bar, because I'm done with the unprofessionalism in this market. It frustrates me more than anything, because you guys are working hard right now, like hard, blood, sweat, and tears, where you're like, it is not easy right now. And these are things maybe as a group we need to creatively come up with new ideas. Go ahead, Scott.
The last thing I just want to say on this is, like, I just keep going back to what's your value right now in this market. Your value right now is to be able to proactively future pace the conversation and let the seller know what to expect and let the buyer know what to expect. And if you want to listen back on this mastermind, and I think we should provide a best practices document for each side of the story, or each side of the seller buyer, and you pull that out on the listing appointment and say, now this is where I'm different, this is where my company's different, and this is what you should expect, and this is what we do to combat that. I'm not saying this is going to be perfect, but I want to minimize as much of this as possible. It's like a pilot telling you there's going to be turbulence in 20 minutes or 10 minutes. When it comes, you're like, oh, that wasn't bad. But if it just comes out of nowhere, you're like, and that's what we need to do. And that's where our value is.
Yeah. Like, there's no fear in listing with me, because here's what I'm going to do. Did the last person you talked to explain to you? Did they explain, like, you feel overjoyed that you're going to get 53 offers? But let me tell you what that really looks like. That means you have 150 people through your home in 72 hours. So I love that, Scott. I love this discussion. Let's raise the bar. Let's set the expectations and keep coming up with creative ideas. So, and go get listings. Oh my gosh, if you're not lead genning for listings, if you have not called everybody in your database and asked them, what would you sell your home for today? Like, give me their names, I'll call them. Like, I want to call these people. So, everybody look down, look up, look to the right, whatever, look around. If you see somebody who is missing this team meeting right now, who's on your team of agents in this office, and they're not here, make sure they listen to this team meeting. Every single person should listen to that GMAR video, 7 minutes, and listen to what we just talked about, because that's what we do here as a company. I don't even know if we're going to get through the rest of our agenda, but that's okay.
And this is like so urgent, important, and valuable, at least to me. And so I hope and trust it is to them. Like, this is like the message of the market. And so this is a topic we keep talking about.
Yep. We call it shiveting. And right now it's about, sometimes we need to scrap the agenda and talk about what we're all going through right now. So together we'll get through it. And this is how we survive this market. Oh, and by the way, a little side note, like, save some of your money. Expenses are starting to creep up with some agents. So pay attention. I know we've been now a year in this shivet. We need to pay attention, not go crazy, right? Nobody needs to spend $1 million on a crown. You could just make one out of corks, wine corks, people, wine corks. So, all right, beautiful. Back to the agenda. Awards, we're gonna move kind of quickly here. So just a reminder, we got this going on next week. Whoop, 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 can't wait. So that's your just save the date as your reminder. Let's see, what else? Red Day, just save the date. More information to follow. All I need you guys to know, I know they talked about it last week, is this day is a day that everybody at Keller Williams participates in their community to give back to their community. So on Thursday, May 13th, there isn't an alternative day, because on Thursday, May 13th, 200,000 people around the country are going to be giving back to their community. So save the date, more information will follow. We got to pick a place. There's other people, there's Michelle's working on that. So she can report back. She's off today, but I just want you to save the date because it's our job to give back to our community, because that's what we're about. And we're doing it on this date with everybody else at Keller Williams. Love it. Okay. All right.
Really quick addition to that. We
Please.
also, like Abby, Michelle, and I are looking for anyone else in the office who wants to help us organize this. We will take any help we can get. So just let one of us know if you're willing to help us coordinate.
That's right. Our community could use our help. Lead gen made simple. This is a Zoom. It's on the calendar. It's in your dates. It's on Thursday from 1:30 to 2:30. I don't know a whole lot about this because Prestige Office put this together, but it's a lead gen. It's all about lead gen. So if you're not reaching your goals, let me just read what Jen Church sent me. Shelly had set it up, and it's all about, so I guess the Hinton group is out of one of the KW offices in Chicago. So just an opportunity to learn from somebody else in your area. So.
And do you want me to show that Gene Rivers lead gen thing as well?
We'll put it in the team meeting recap because I want to make sure we got like 9 minutes left, but there's a regional lead gen thing too. So make sure you read your recap. Office will be closed at noon on Friday. Happy Easter on Sunday to everybody. And then we have here, this is a good one, guys. So the Loken group. So this is a Zoom. As you can see on April 28th, just mark your calendars. So this is all about admins. So it's an admin mastermind, and the Loken group is the #1 group in the whole entire Keller Williams company. They are in Houston, Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, if it's somewhere else in Texas, but I want to say Houston. And they sell over 2,000 homes a year. Trust me, they got some admin stuff that they can teach us all. So look for details on that. And now it's your turn, Scott. 5 a day.
Cool. I wanted to just recircle our conversation that we had, I believe, 2 weeks ago. And piggybacking off what we already talked about today, just how valuable this all is. Has anybody asked the question to someone, a stranger, someone in their database, that question around, do you have any idea what your home is worth in this market? Could anyone share like a specific example of what happened? Because as you guys think about it, and I get rid of this awkward silence, what we can, like, really, this is not an option anymore. Like we're in a market that is unlike any other market we've ever seen. And what we've done before will not get us to where we need to go now. And so if we're not shifting our strategies a little, and we're not going proactive versus reactive by saying, asking people the question and then telling them our solutions, those two things are going to be the 1 degree that's going to get us from 211 to 212 and boil. Because in this market, let's say when this is over, we're going to be talking about this market, although it's a pain in the butt. We're going to be talking about, remember when interest rates were 2.6? Remember when homes sold that first day? There's agents in our office that don't even know what a price reduction amendment means or is. That is not even a conversation. And so we're going to get to a point, we're going to say, gosh, do you remember that? That's going to be awesome. And I'll tell you, while we're in it, we are the ones that are going to be able to take full advantage of this, because all we have to do is go take the market share. Don't wait for it to come to us. Don't wait to get the MLS Flex update. Let's go create this and make this happen. So has anybody had a conversation they could just share?
Mandy, you have your hand up. So I don't know when go ahead.
I do. So in the last 2 days, I've actually reached out to 2 of my contacts that I've been working with, one of which said he didn't want to sell until summer. And I'm having coffee with him next week because I told him, I said, you're not understanding. You're missing out on part of the value of your home. You're missing out on top dollar by waiting until summer to actually put that listing sign in the front yard. So we're going to reconvene, go back over a CMA, show him the numbers as to how much value he's going to possibly miss out on. How that could impact his net proceeds if he waits until June or July to actually put the listing sign in the yard.
So true.
I have another one who said that they were thinking of relocating altogether out of state. Now they're reconsidering all of their plans, considering they're seeing signs popping up in their neighborhood right and left, and it's raising a lot of questions for them. They reached out to me on Saturday. We're going to revisit their fair market analysis as well, so they can get a clear understanding as to how much the value of their home has increased since the last time we looked at it last year.
That's so true. You say, I don't know what the summer is going to look like. I know what right now looks like. And right now is unlike any time in real estate history. And what Nicole wrote in the comment, call a friend. She thought it was 120 and it's 160. Now they're going live. I'm telling you, this will get you listings. Andrew Keel said he sent a Facebook message. What would you consider selling your home for? And the guy said, I would consider 250. And he did the analysis. He said, I could get you 275 and it's going live. Now, if he didn't send that Facebook message, he wouldn't have a $275,000 listing. And by the way, it's for one of his buyers. So he's going to double pop it. And that buyer is going to be a raving fan for the rest of his or her life. That's going to give him referrals. And they're going to talk at work about their friend at work is going to say how frustrating it is. And say, let me tell you what my realtor did for me. Let me tell you how they were proactive. And then just say, wow, like what's his or her name? And this simple thing is going to help us win. And when we throw 200 people at this approach, it's going to help KW win. And so we're planning, we're in the process of planning a really fun activity listing contest to gamify this and to have it and to get real specific and granular, but like just get your boots on and make sure they're clean, and let's have fun with this.
Scott, can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone heard on the pivot call, the golden letter. I have a buyer who's looking for a specific area, and I did the golden letter, and every day I do a street. I make sure I do the street, and we just did 3 streets so far, and we got a call yesterday. The particular person is going to list for sale by owner right now, he said. But he's letting my buyer go through. So we're meeting with him next week. He's prepping the house. And then I figured I would try to maybe convert him if I can, swing him to the other side to list, or maybe it'll work for that buyer. But it did work. He called up and said, I got your letter. And he told me everything. And we had a great conversation. And it's at least a lead for my buyer to have a look at the house prior to going on the market.
Exactly.
And Chris Ruskowitz, by the way, put that in our Facebook group, the golden letter. So I saw, is she here? Chris, are you here? Because I know she was going to talk about her things coming up. Okay.
We have, just think of the halo effect on that, Diana, where now not only could you get a potential listing, but that buyer is going to talk about what you're doing. And you can throw that same thing in a text. And, we're doing one neighborhood a month. So we're doing like 200 a month. You could do 10 a month, or like you said, street by street. And just you're getting on the train track where the leads are. If you're not doing activity proactively, those leads are passing by and you're just waving to them like, hi, bye, but you're on the track and you're in the way, and good things will happen. I love that.
So I have an example from this week. Our team has been doing a health score, of our database contest, sort of increasing the information that we have in our database on all of our lifetime clients, making sure we have birthdays in there, all addresses, emails and stuff like that. And so in the course of those calls, of course, I'm talking about real estate, and hey, like people that have bought with me 7 years ago, you figure, oh, maybe they're ready to sell. And don't assume that people really know what their house is worth. So in the course of these conversations, I sent out, hey, did you guys know that I sold in your area recently? this is probably what you could sell your house for today. Well, that started this huge conversation, not only between the husband and the wife, but then they got on Facebook, tagged me on it with their cousin, who I've also helped sell in the past. So there was like this excitement about, in the end, they decided they're not ready, which everyone's going to make their own decision. But in the course of that exploration, Scott was just talking about that halo effect. So they're very social Facebook people. And that message and them talking about the market and kind of connecting our team in there just went to who knows how many people. So
Yeah.
I didn't get a listing from that, but other conversations, like I was talking about a recent sale to an investor and telling him about a new possible project. And he's like, no, I don't really think you could get that much in that area. I said, really? I just sold this here. And he says, I have a rental in that neighborhood. Could you get me that much? Now, I didn't sell him that property. He bought it with another realtor, but because we were having the conversation, I now have a one-party listing in that neighborhood because of a conversation that we had. And so I actually got 2 one-party listings by just calling my sphere, updating their information, and talking. It kind of takes on its own conversation, if you will, in terms of what's going on in their life. And you just, wherever there's an open door, you just go down it until it stops, right? Until it closes. So.
Wow. I love that story. And you don't know unless you ask, and we assume we're living in it, you guys. We are living in the market because this is what we do. And I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a whole lot of information about what is really happening in the market on the news. People do not know what their home is worth. They have no idea in today's market. Today. We don't know tomorrow. We don't know 3 months, whatever, but I know today. Thank you, Jackie. Wow. Okay. And then real quickly, we're going to wrap it up. What are our next slides, Allison? I think I had just a couple of, because I didn't see Chris on here. So I'm just going to make sure. Today, up in the training room from 1:15 to 3 in person in New Berlin, Chris Ruskowitz is going to be talking about the 36 touch and lead generation, which we know if you follow 36 touch, for every 100 contacts you have in your database, you have around 16 closings if you follow it. And then tomorrow, the One Thing Mastermind, which is on Zoom from 1 to 2:30, which is open to everybody. And so is today upstairs. It's really open to everybody. So just wanted to make sure you guys had that information. And then Allison.
Okay, this will just be a really quick reminder. I just need to have all your March closings here at the office by the end of the day tomorrow, so I can get them closed out before we start our transmittal process on the 1st. Anything that I get after that will be counted as April production. So get your closings in, please. Make sure that everything's filled out in Command so I can pay you right away. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Allison. And then we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for staying a couple minutes over. Does anybody have a listing coming? All right, Mandy, tell us about your listing.
Okay, so I met with a client of mine on Saturday who has bought with me last year. I've been sending him market information and he reached out to me and we had a conversation on Saturday. He is interested in doing single party listing on 5 of his duplexes in West Allis. So these are, let's see here. 4 of the 5 are 2/2s and one of them is a 3/3, ranging in price from 165 up to approximately 190. So if anybody wants more information, please email me and I can get you more of that. But they're located in the neighborhoods of McKinley Park and Liberty Heights and near Veterans Memorial Park, as well as 85th and Lapham.
Holy man, Mandy Miller is her name. Write that down, Mandy Miller. All right, Jill Account, what do you got?
All right, I got a beautiful homecoming in Rochester, right near Burlington. It's a 3+ bedroom. It's got like a big bedroom with then like another attached like loft area. 3.5 bath, 2-story on an 1.5 acre, 4-car garage, 549,000. Coming early April.
Love it. Okay, who else? Someone, give me good news. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, I have these are all gonna be the weekend after Easter. So a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath colonial near 99th and Lisbon for $239,900. Then I have a duplex in Tosa, 2.2 for $350 on, what's that street? Sorry.
Who cares? It's Tosa.
I know, I'm sorry. Anyway, that one's $350. And then a Shorewood bungalow, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, blocks from the lake for $300.
Ooh, that's gonna be a doozy. That's where you're gonna wanna really have some backup. Lisa Packard.
Yeah, I have two. They're both starting Thursday. So I have in Greendale in Overlook Farms, a tri-level. It's 4 bedrooms and 3 full bathrooms, about 0.6 acres, 389,900. Offers are due Monday. And then in the Fernwood neighborhood in Milwaukee Bayview area, I have for $350 a 3-bedroom, 2 full bathroom. It's about 1,500 to 1,600 square foot. It's on a double lot. So hurry, hurry, hurry on both of those.
Run now. I think Dawn Shipley, and then I saw Therese Culp raise her hand. Did you have something, Dawn?
Yes, so we have, Zach mentioned it last week, we have a single family, 2-bedroom, 1-bath in Milwaukee, just south of 94 in that Blue Mound Heights neighborhood. That's going to be going in for $120 next week. And then we have a condo on northwest side of Milwaukee in the east, or the Bay Lake Condo Association, and that's going in for $135. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a finished basement.
Love it. Okay, Therese.
I have, I don't know if anybody's looking for vacant land in Muskego, but I have 4 acres on a cul-de-sac, wooded lot that's been perked already. That is at a really very, very, very nice part of Muskego, close to Vernon, Big Bend, and New Berlin. And so that should be listed tomorrow. If you have any interest, let me know.
Okay, anybody else for the good of the cause? All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This was such a good meeting. And I love that we had listings to share. Now go make your 5-a-days. 5 people a day. 5 people a day, people. Like Scott said, it's only how many? 5 people a day. Ask them if they know what their home is worth. Go get some listings. All right, we're out. Bye.